Guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I have never recorded in the way that I'm recording right now. Like, my microphone is literally hanging on the side of my bed frame, so I don't really know how all of this is going to work out. I mean, I tested the audio, it sounded fine, so hopefully it goes well. Today we're doing a candle wax reading. I haven't done a candle wax reading in a long time, okay? Messages from the collective's guardian demons, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay. Here, I guess I'm gonna light the candle with this flame over here. Come forth. Collective's guardian demons. Come forth. Come forth, come forth. Bring us messages. Pour it to me. Your messages, words, and insights. Come forth, the collective. Bring forth your insights. Bring forth your I kind of imagine like a slug moving slow. Just because something's moving slow doesn't mean that it isn't happening at all. Like, it's still happening. Maybe you kind of feel like things should be moving faster, especially if you've been doing something for a very long time. But slow and steady wins the race. Like, I'm kind of getting like people who blow up fast, they don't really have that longevity that you will have. Okay, if this is some type of like business or career or even like a social media endeavor, like just trust, because it's still happening and it's still going to come true. Okay. Someone's also like really outcasted, they feel alone. But the thing is, there's much more, I guess, like energy around you than you see. You have so many different like spirit guides and beings standing by your side that you do not see. Okay, and I heard a dog like howling and like barking aggressively outside after that. So like maybe like Hecate, Anpu, some type of like hound spirit in particular coming forth. Let me readjust myself. So yeah, there's like much more going on behind the scenes, and that could also be like in regards to like spiritual support. Maybe you guys feel like you're not supported, but there's so much more happening behind the scenes, and you have so many beings surrounding you. Okay, I'm like drawn to this area, like this little picture that I'm seeing. I can't tell what it is. I don't know if it's like a monster's mouth or something like that. Maybe there's a message of being protected. Like, maybe the reason why some people find you intimidating is because it's like a defense, it's protection. You look intimidating because, you know, like your spirit is automatically pushing away energies that don't resonate with your spirit, energies that just aren't compatible. That's why you have like that intimidating aura. Because you're not meant for everyone, and it's a way of protecting you, and maybe like you don't have a lot of friends because of that. But I think it's a blessing that some of you guys will begin to enjoy. Maybe for some not right now, but later. And if you already enjoy being a lone wolf, then, you know, I guess like I guess that's all I'd say in regards to that. Also, something about like gender, someone becoming their truest self, someone stepping into womanhood. I'm hearing something about womanhood, femininity, or maybe acceptance of your femininity for some, and getting to know somebody else, meeting someone new. I also feel like there's like a strong connection with like sun energy, like afros, curly hair. Maybe collecting positive energy from the sun, getting outside more. I understand that like when I'm doing this reading it is winter. This is obviously timeless, but I feel like for anyone who is resonating with this message, it's time to get outside more. And just because like the sun is not as, I guess, like not as present in the winter doesn't mean that it isn't there. You know what I'm saying? Let me pause this reading because I'm being called right now. Niggas in my family always needing shit from me. So tired of this. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let's get back into the message. Okay. And something about like the number 3, that could be representative of Mars, as Mars Tuesday's third day of the week, but 3 is also considered a lucky number for some. Maybe also the power of 3, the Holy Trinity, something about that being very significant at this current point in time. Maybe like having your altar space represent the power of 3 in a way. 2 candle pillars, 1 candle in the middle. Okay, so maybe being born in March. That might be significant for some. Maybe something about like a grandmother figure or some type of elder caring for you. That's what I'm seeing here. Maybe also recognizing like, oh, I see the power 3 again. Like I don't know if you can see it because I'm at an angle, but I see like 3 beings watching over you. Anyways, going back to like my whole entire like statement about like the grandmother energy that I was seeing. I kind of feel like there's some type of grandmother spirit that is watching over you. So, and I know I keep flip flopping between the power 3 and, you know, that grandmother spirit energy, but I also feel like with 3 being significant, like there's good luck that is appearing on your side. Maybe something about feeling sick. Someone's getting better. Maybe some of you guys are on the verge of a burnout. That's kind of what I'm sensing. Maybe you're on the verge of a burnout and you need to slow down and rest before you continue. Because if not, you're going to start feeling sick. Or maybe like if you're feeling sick right now, that's probably one of the reasons why, is because you're pushing your body way harder than you need to. Also, something about playing like an instrument, like a guitar, something that can be like held and strummed. So some type of instrument with strings that can be strummed is popping up here. Maybe like a banjo. And if I'm thinking about a banjo, then I'm thinking about like an elder spirit. Maybe some type of tradition with the banjo. Something about like southern Gothic. I feel like that's something that's significant. Also, something about sexual experiences, new sexual experiences. I'm seeing here. So I feel like that's something that maybe someone's manifesting that's coming forth, or it's just something that, it's something that's happening. And I feel like the more energy that you put into something, the more that you receive from that thing. So like if you're trying to manifest something, the more energy you're pouring into it, the more intense the result will be, is what I'm getting for somebody out there. And if you're feeling sad and you're feeling confused, I feel like there's going to be like a revelation to get you out of this rut. You're going to start feeling better when you open up to the what's it called? The downloads that are coming in. Because there's downloads, there's messages about how to get out of this rut, but you have to like open yourself up to it. And I feel like you can open yourself up to it by meditating. And I feel like for you guys, the way that you can effectively channel these messages, these revelations, is by laying down in your bed, eyes closed, and just allowing yourself to receive maybe two crystals in each palm. Just laid out straight on the bed. All right, that's what I'm getting. I feel like that could be an effective way to meditate for someone out there, if you resonate with it. And something about like an ankh or a cross necklace being a source of power for somebody who's resonating with this reading. And maybe recharging it or cleansing its energy so it can continue to bring forth power. And if we're going back to what I said about the sun and people with curly hair, I do feel like wearing the ankh is a way to connect back to the power of your ancestors. And something about like a bunny rabbit, somebody having a pet rabbit, or maybe hopping into a new timeline. And I see like a face, a smiling face. I don't know if you guys can see it. Do you see it? The smiling face right there? Oh, there's wax that got dropped into it. I see a smiling face, so I feel like things are definitely getting better. You're going to be much happier, especially if you've gone through a really difficult time. You're going to be 10 times more happier than you have been for a good minute. And there's going to be a lot of gatherings and getting together. And, you might be gathering with your spirit guides, something about like a sacred council, seeking some type of insight from them, and being more open to their messages, understanding what they're saying. And something about peaches, eating peaches, spiritual benefits in regards to peaches. I don't know the spiritual benefits in regards to peaches, but I feel like for somebody it's like important to hear. Or something about maybe the state of Georgia, because peach, that's Georgia. Maybe like living in Atlanta, Georgia, like Georgia being a sacred place for somebody. Um, I feel like I don't know what's sacred about Georgia. Well, I can think of one thing, and I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to mention it because I'd rather not. But there's something sacred about Georgia. For someone who's watching this, maybe you were born in Georgia, you're yearning to go to Georgia. But there's something about Georgia that's appearing here. Maybe with the peach that I saw. Or, peaches, generally speaking, could just be really good for somebody. Maybe someone's favorite fruit. And if it is, maybe this is, a sign that this is your reading. And being unafraid to talk to your spirit guides is something that's really important because they love you, okay? Something about talking to them with some type of, I guess, specific incense, because I felt the need to mention incense. So some type of specific incense, like frankincense or myrrh, or what else is there? That's what I could think of. I mean, I guess those are like really basic incense, like scents. But I felt called to mention that incense, specific incense sticks, are wanted by your guardian demons, your spirit guides. Perhaps the guardian demons are giving this message right now. And it doesn't even have to be like frankincense or like myrrh. It could be something else. Something that's significant to you. That, or you know what I'm trying to say? I feel like, okay, wait, I'm getting two messages at once because I see like a lamb. I feel like with the incense message, whatever incense reminds you of your spiritual team or brings about those feelings is the incense that you should use when communicating with them. I feel like some certain incense scents remind me of certain deities I speak to. It's kind of like that, So whatever is intuitively calling to you, incense-wise, that you think like, oh, this like reminds me of my spiritual team, then that's what you should use. And if that's frankincense or myrrh, I guess that's a confirmation. I also saw like a lamb. So I feel like with the lamb, maybe something about being like being intuitively connected. Okay, I'm getting two messages. Something about things changing during the in bulk season, but also something about being like connected to some type of like I guess like spirit, like maybe something about like purity, like I might have to pull my cards about that, but I feel like there's like a connection to some type of spirit, and maybe it's kind of like, maybe it's like breaking away from purity. Maybe that's what it's talking about here. I also see mushrooms. Somebody's into shrooms. But breaking away from purity and not feeling the need to be like the child of God. And also maybe with, the lamb, this whole entire connection to spirit, like, maybe sometimes you guys think that, like, you are only powerful if you're connected to a certain spirit, but you're powerful alone. And you have to discover that. So that's really interesting. I don't really know though, like if it's talking about being connected to a spirit and like I feel like there's like two meanings to it. Or several meanings, honestly, 'cause I don't even know. I mean, it's interesting, but breaking away from purity is very important for somebody here who is watching this reading. Also, maybe something about like a caterpillar or liking insects. Somebody's into insects, ants. It's a really interesting message. Maybe that's how you've known that you were always weird, just being into insects. Okay, and removing your clothes. Cause somebody, like I'm seeing like a somebody removing their veil or taking off their shirt. Stop being so afraid to be vulnerable at your altar, and maybe it's something about like removing your clothes while doing spells. You know, I feel like when you're naked, you're like connected to your truest nature. You're there's no like there's nothing stopping the connection between you and the elements. There's nothing hiding you from the elements. It's helping you unleash your truest power, is what I'm hearing. So it's time to remove the veil, it's time to remove the clothes. And maybe with the veil, it's also like time to stop believing a belief that isn't working anymore. That you know that it's not resonating with you anymore, yet you're holding on to it because you're scared. But it's okay to be naked. Okay, I'm seeing a penis as well, so maybe with the imagery of that, because it reminds me of what's it called? Is it an obelisk? It reminds me of that. Maybe having certain towers, or maybe having certain like towers or statues in your home can bring forth some type of divine energy or power. Because they attract. Okay? But I also feel like maybe there's something about like having a phallus candle from a witch shop. And it stands out to you. And you should use it. Okay? And a voodoo doll for some, okay? A voodoo doll is interesting. A voodoo doll for some is what I'm seeing here. You know that you want to create this voodoo doll, but you don't want to do it. Because you're like, I don't know, what if the energy comes back to me? If somebody's pissing you off to the point you're thinking, I need to make a voodoo doll, you probably need to make a voodoo doll. Because if they're like literally invading your space to the point that you're thinking about making a doll of them, then that's probably a sign to make a doll of them. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay? And, there's no such thing as like evil magic. I just don't believe in that. Maybe some of you guys need to hear that. Your magic's not evil, you're protecting yourself. And there's a lot of movies in Hollywood that try to stop you from coming into your fullest form. I also feel like maybe with some traditional spirituality from your culture, it's demonized. Especially if this is like voodoo and we're talking about African magic. It might be demonized and, misunderstood in media. And they want it to be that way so you don't connect to the power of your ancestors. But it's time to stop worrying about the media and what they have to say about your traditional magic because it's part of your culture. And it deserves to be used and claimed by you, the magician of your bloodline. Okay, and that's for some. Now, obviously, you know, if it's not part of your family, then don't do a close practice like voodoo. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay? Is that all I'm seeing? Yeah, you guys need to let yourself come into your truest form is what I'm saying. There's like a lot of awkwardness is what I'm getting. You're just so awkward about being yourself. And it's not worth that. Live a life where you can be free. Okay? I feel like that's all I'm really getting. Yeah, something about a worm or something like that. Like, okay, like slugs, worms, something about that. It's interesting. Maybe something connecting to the earth elements. Grounding. Maybe that's why we're getting the slugs and the worms. And some type of like spirit or ghost. I don't know what to say about them. I can't tell. I mean, it doesn't seem to be malignant. It just seems to be like attached to something. Maybe attached to like some type of antique. And this is why you, when it comes down to like thrifting, you know, you gotta use the sage. You gotta use your smudge sticks. Because there could be people's spirits attached to it, especially if the person passed away and they really enjoyed that item. You know, it could still be attached to your items. So, you know, make sure you use smudge, sage, all that type of stuff. Because you don't want that type of energy in your space. Even if the spirit is not, like, malignant, you just don't want somebody else's energy in your space, you know? You gotta give yourself some boundaries. You gotta put some boundaries in place, okay? Okay, and then, like, some type of bull or, okay, Taurus. Or some type of bull spirit, like Asmodee. Okay, I think that's it. I'm gonna blow out this candle, and I'm gonna ask about the lamb symbolism. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw like the side of my head because I kind of hit the phone. Yes. Okay. Coolio. I'm going to pause. I'm going to get a deck, and we're going to ask a little bit more about, you know, what your guardian demons want to say, and we're going to ask about the lamb symbolism. Okay, let's see here. Let's start with the tarot. Is there any other messages the guardian demons have for the collective? Is there any other messages the guardian demons have for the collective? Okay, let me move the crystal out the way. Okay, we have Eight of Pentacles, Justice, Page of Cups. For all those who are working hard on their projects, I feel like there is some good energy coming in. It's going to pay off. And the ideas that you have are worth implementing. I also feel like it's part of your divine purpose, whatever it is that you're doing. It's something that you have been, it's something that was aligned, you know, with your destiny before you were born. I also feel like you're bringing some type of hope to the people of the collective. Whatever that you're doing, I feel you're a healer and you are bringing justice to this broken world for some. Okay? Let's ask about the lamb. I'm going to use my Mystic Martian Oracle. What is this symbolism of the lamb that I saw in this candle wax reading from the Guardian Demons? What is the symbolism of the lamb that I saw in this candle wax reading from the Guardian Demons? Okay, so we have the pentagram, we have golden ratio and grays short. Okay, so if for one, I feel like the lamb is representing some type of not rejecting your nature. Okay, I guess that's going back to what I was saying, like something about purity and feeling that you have to be pure. You guys need to stop rejecting your true nature. You don't understand that. You don't understand that. Maybe it's something about not understanding that being human doesn't mean that you have to be pure. That being the spiritual powerhouse that you are doesn't mean that you have to be this pure, like, light being that can't, be chaotic or can't be wild or can't resonate with the darkness, because that type of like mentality stops you from becoming your truest form. And I also feel like with a lot of these religions, like, especially because I was talking about feminine energy, for the ones that resonate with the feminine spirit, a lot of these religions, have this whole entire like negative mentality about being pure, especially for women, as a way of control. What? Okay. I'm sorry, guys, I got interrupted again. See, this is why I need to move out. Sorry. Let me continue what I was saying. When it comes down to, a lot of these religions, they try to have control over women's bodies, by telling them, oh, it's gross, you need to cover it up, you need to be modest. But that's stopping you from being, from experiencing your fullest potential. Because remember, I talked about, undressing yourself, removing the veil, removing the clothes, getting connected to the elements, especially because we have the pentagram here. Okay, getting connected with the elements, actually being connected with the elements instead of hiding from it and hiding from your true spirituality. You guys are misunderstanding that just because, you're this spiritual powerhouse, it doesn't mean that you have to be like this pure thing. And I feel like maybe with this whole entire spirit energy, like maybe what the demons are trying to say is that like your spirit is nothing pure. It's not something that is supposed to be pure. Something that's supposed to be restricted or confined by religions or this conservative propaganda about being pure. Like, this is not something that you have to do. It's something that is negatively affecting you or impacting you, and that's, it's not a part of your true nature. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from that lamb symbolism. And we're gonna wrap this reading up with some Egyptian oracle cards. Is there anything else the guardian demons would like to say to the collective watching this reading? Okay. Order and getting connected to your purpose brings peace in your life. The things that you're passionate about bring healing to your life, and that's something that you should do much more. And I feel like things are finally coming together things are finally getting back to order. And if you feel like things have been chaotic or, unstable, things are finally calming down. I also feel like maybe the reason why things are kind of chaotic is because you need to learn how to utilize that chaos energy, as your tool, So that's, I think, a message for some, but it's time to start getting more connected to your purpose, to your passions, to the things that you love, because it brings peace, healing, and order to this world, okay? And I feel like that's all the demons are trying to say. If you guys enjoyed this reading, please feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below. If you're interested in having a reading with me, you can look in the description box. There's a link. And if you want to gift me a new deck or any type of spiritual gift, you can with my Throne Wishlist link. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Take care, and goodbye.